Welcome to the Land House YouTube channel. I'm Seth. This is the Marxon G1500 power station. Let's pull this out of the box, take a look at all of its features, and then put it through some tests. This is the box that the Marxon G1500 comes in. Let's go ahead and pull everything out so you can get the unboxing experience. A power cord for AC. We've got the car charging port. There is a user manual. We will take a closer look at that here in a moment. And then we have the power station itself. A little bit more packaging. All right, let's see if I can pull this out. I may just drop the box off the edge here. Yeah. There we go. And that's what the contents of the box looks like. Let's take a tour around this power station. So here is the business end. You've got a display up top and a power button. Let's go ahead and remove that film off the display. We've got a fast charge, a USB 1, USB 2, fast charge, Type C and Type C for the USB. This right here is how you turn on the USB. Down here you've got your AC on-off button, and you've got 4 AC outlets. If we open this up right here, you can access the parallel connection or the ground right there. I shouldn't be using that here on this review, but it is available. If we turn this over here, it's got the Marxon G1500 logo right there. Has a cooling fan and the places that air will be moving around to cool this unit off. On the top it does have 2 nice firm plastic handles, and on the top it does have the Marxon logo right there. Now on this side it also just has air vents, nothing too special on that. If we move over here to the back side, it does have the DC port right there, and you can turn that on with this button. Over here is an LED light. You can turn it on or off there. And down here you've got the overload protection 15 amp AC charger input and the solar or car input down here. So we can open up that little drawer and see what that looks like down there. 2 cooling fans on this side to help get the unit cooled off if it is pushing out a lot of watts. On the bottom, it's just got your sticker and some rubber feet. A couple noteworthy things from the specification sheet. This is a lithium iron phosphate battery. So for those that are concerned about its safety, that is typically the more safe battery to have in a power station. It has 3,000 cycles to be 80% the capacity of the battery. 48 volt at 30 amps, which is 1,440 watt hours. The dimensions are 392 by 226 by 336 millimeters. It weighs approximately 41 pounds, and it does have a UPS with a less than 10 millisecond switch. Very nice to have. The 4 AC outputs are pure sine wave, 1800 watt total, and surge of 3,600 watts. 50 or 60 hertz at 120 volts. The normal USB Type A have a 5 volt 2.4 amp at 12 watts per port. The USB is fast charging, and it's 20 volt 3 amp 60 watt per port. For the USB-C, it has 20 volt 5 amp at 100 watts per port. And the DC output is 12 volts at 10 amp or 120 watt. For the AC charging, it will do 1,000 watts max at 50 or 60 hertz between 100 volt and 132 volts. The solar input has a 600 watt max. That's 11 volt through 70 volt DC, 25 amp max, and it is an MPPT charge controller. For the car charger, you can do 120 watts. Now, because this is a lithium iron phosphate battery, the charging temperature is 32 degrees up to 114, but you can discharge this battery from -4 to 113 degrees. All right, now that we've seen some specs on this unit, let's go ahead and turn it on and see how well this performs. One very nice thing about this unit is that it has the AC to DC adapter built into the unit. So all you have to do is plug up this single AC cord and it will be able to charge the battery that way. You don't have to carry around one of those big power bricks. And by using this system here, it allows you to have that UPS inside of the box and charge this at 1,000 watts. So you can use an application up to 1,000 watts for pass-through. And as soon as the power is cut from here, it will then take over and be able to use this box without having the grid connected to it. In order to charge through the car, you've got this adapter here that goes to an Anderson plug, and that would go over here on this side. And that's also where you would plug up a solar panel if you wanted to charge up to 600 watts with solar. I'm going to press and hold down the power button to see what this unit shows. A very nice, bright and clear display. Looks like it was shipped at about 97%, and you can see here it's got 99 hours. No input watts, no output watts. And I'm assuming this bar at the top is going to be the battery state, so you can quickly look over and see that. But it is nice to have a percentage on the screen here. Very nice. All right, so if we turn on a USB down here, all right, I don't see any watts showing up. Let's turn on the AC. Oftentimes it will show that it uses a small amount of power just having the unit on. All right, I don't see any watts showing up here. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Turn this one off. There you go. So it is nice to see those displays under here showing that you have that on. All right, let's see if I push that once. Turns the display off. Very cool. If I hold this down, it will turn off the unit. There we go. That little lamp right there shows if it is on or off. Let's spin this around to the back real quick and see the LED turn on. So I've got the unit off. I want to see if this light will come on even though I have the system off. All right, I'm not seeing it come on. Let me go ahead and turn the unit on real quick. Hold that button down. All right, and now let's see if this comes on. Yep, there you go. The light is on. So got an SOS feature and then off. All right, I'm going to turn the light on, and then let's see if that is consuming any of the battery here on the display. I don't see any output there, so keep that in mind that it is draining that battery but not showing here. So looks like perhaps this will just show if it's being charged or if it is discharging from these USB or AC ports here. I just finished charging the Marxon G1500, and so it's now at 100%. So let's go ahead and do a discharge test, which will also double as our AC output test. So I've got a little heater here with multiple settings. I've also got a meter so we can see the time and the watts, but I will also use a stopwatch to time this. So our unit here has a 1,440 watt-hour battery, and so we will see what watts are coming out of this, and we'll know the battery capacity, and we'll be able to do the math to see at what percentage this unit is running at. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's begin the test. I'm going to first turn the unit on, holding that button down. It's got 100%, 99 hours on the display. I'm going to plug up my meter, turn on the AC. There we go. Plug up this heater. All right, let's try this. Let me start here and turn this to setting number 2 and see what we get. All right, that fan is now running. Here on my meter, I've got 884 watts. If I move up to the power station display, it's got 891 watts. I wonder if the difference is the actual power of the inverter and the AC output here. So anyhow, we've got 892 watts is what we're going to go with on the power station. Both displays seem to be holding very consistent with this heater, which is a good thing. So if we take the 1,440 watts divided by 892, this unit should run for 1.6 hours. So I will continue to check back and see how well this is doing, and we'll see how close this gets to. Typically between 80 and 100% is where a power station should rest. So, all right, I'll be back in a little while. Right at 40 minutes has passed. The battery is at 56%, and we're still running very consistent here on the watts from both displays. All right, this test is going well. I just stepped down here and it looks like the unit is off at 1.5 hours. So I missed the cutoff point. If we plug up this meter, we should be able to see at what time it turned off. So let's go do that real quick and we will know at what percentage this thing was running at. There it is, an hour and 24 minutes is how long this was on before the unit turned off. First, let's go ahead and run the official numbers to see how long this device should have lasted on the device that I was using. So officially, the watt hours of this machine are 1440. You multiply that times 0.85, and that gives you 1,224. Divide that by the wattage of the device used. So in our case, it was 892. So this machine should run for 1.372 hours. Let's go ahead and jump into my numbers and you'll be surprised. So the reason for these numbers is because you don't want to discharge the battery fully. You want to always have that lower 20% so you don't damage the battery. So let's move on to my results here. Okay, so an hour and 24 minutes was our run time at 892 watts. So bear with me real quick as I crunch these numbers. An hour and 24 minutes as a decimal is 1.4 hours. So basically this ran 1.4 hours at 892, which is 1,248 watt hours. So if we say 1,248 watt hours times 100 divided by 1440, which is the total watt hours of the battery, this ran at 86.66%. All right, well, that concludes the discharge test. Let me go ahead and charge this back up. I may hook it up to a solar panel and put it out here in the sun because it's a nice day and see how well that does. I have 200 watts of solar I'm going to plug up here. Let's go ahead and take this Anderson plug. All right, I heard a beep. Let's go ahead and see what the solar input is over here. That screen is very reflective, but I'm seeing 163 watts coming in, and it looks like at that rate it'll take 8 hours for this to charge up fully. The 200 watts of solar that I used to charge this was doing quite well, but remember, you can hook up to 600 watts to this machine and charge this a lot quicker. With a full 600 watts, you can expect this to be fully charged in about 3 to 3.5 hours, depending on the time of year and the angle of the sun. The last thing that I would like to test out here on this power station is the DC side. So let's go ahead and turn the unit on. Hold that down, let the screen come on. It's got 12% from sitting in the sun today. I did not adjust the panels to get a better angle, so that's what we got. All right, let's go ahead and turn on the USB here. The indicator pops up, and let's go ahead and plug up this little speaker. All right, so it may be hard for you to see, but there is the red light on down there to indicate that that is now charging. Very good. I don't see any watts on the output here, but it's only using like 1 watt, so nothing too fancy. All right, let's turn over to the other side and use the 12-volt car or cigarette lighter port and see how that does. I have a 12-volt air compressor that I will just plug up to see how well this works. So open this up and push the power button down here. All right, my fan just kicked on. Let's hear the compressor turn on. There we go. That seems to be working just fine. Remember to turn that back off whenever you're done with it. The Marxon has a UPS, which is an uninterruptible power supply. So let me go ahead and make sure the unit is on. It is fully charged. It's connected to the AC. Let's go ahead and turn on the output here. I'm going to plug up a heater. And if I turn this to, let's say, the number 1 setting, so it's got about 560 watts going out. So that right now is passing through the unit from AC to the output. But if I go over here, you can see the AC is plugged up down here on the display. So if I now remove the AC charging, it will automatically kick over to the UPS mode. There we go. So as you can see, it continued to work, and now it has 2 hours here on the display. This unit has a less than 10 millisecond UPS, so If you were to connect a computer to this system, it would basically allow you to run the PC, and if the power goes out, this would kick on as a battery backup. And that concludes the overview of the Marxon G1500 power station. The battery inside of here is a lithium iron phosphate rated at 1,440 watt hours. It has a 1,800 watt output, has lots of AC and DC output, and can accept car charging, solar charging, and the UPS AC wall charging. If you want to check out more information on this power station, I will have a link in the description down below. I'm Seth Johnson with Land a House, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.